Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video you'll learn about English present tenses. So let's get started with the present simple and the present continuous tenses. The present simple is used to describe habits, routines, and states, to talk about general facts that are always true. For example, 2 times 2 makes 4. This fact is always true. To describe permanent situations, I live in Chicago. The present simple is used to describe someone's habits, routines, or repeated actions. He wakes up at 6 a.m. every day. This tense is used to talk about timetables. The show starts at 9 p.m. tomorrow. And there are common expressions of frequency that are used with the present simple tense. These are always, usually, every day, sometimes. The present continuous is used to describe ongoing events, current trends. If you need to describe a temporary situation, the present continuous should be used. She's staying with her relatives while her parents are away. This part of the sentence, while her parents are away, helps us understand that the situation is temporary and therefore the present continuous is used. This tense is used to talk about situations that are going on at the time of speaking. She is reading a book at the moment. To describe current trends, online shopping is increasing all over the world. To talk about future arrangements, we're moving to a new house in December. Sometimes the present continuous is used with the word always, and in this case, the sentence shows annoyance. For example, they are always arguing about silly things. Let's continue with the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous tenses. The present perfect simple is used to talk about recently finished actions. The show has just started. To describe actions happened at an unspecified time in the past. They have arrived in Japan. To talk about an experience up to the present. I've never been to Australia. To describe an action that started in the past and continues in the present. They've been married for nearly 20 years. And this tense is used to talk about an action that has an obvious result in the present. I've spilled the coffee over my blouse. The present perfect is also used to specify, to define how many times an action has been repeated. For example, I've read that story 4 or 5 times. So there are some common time adverbials that are usually used with the present perfect tense. Just, never, already, ever, recently. She has just got back from her holidays. What about the present perfect continuous tense? This tense is used to specify the action or the duration, and it is used to describe a past action that continues now. For example, some examples when the present perfect continuous is used to emphasize the action. I see you've been cooking. It smells delicious. Have you been cleaning? It's so tidy in your room. Where were you? I've been looking for you everywhere. And it is also used to specify, to emphasize the duration of an action that started in the past and continues now. She's been working on her novel since last year. Or it's been snowing for hours. However, there are stative and dynamic verbs. So let's see the difference because this is important when you use the present simple or simple or continuous tenses. So the dynamic verbs are verbs that describe actions. For example, such verbs as to run, to play, to jump, to cook, and these verbs can be used in the simple and in the continuous form. For example, she plays tennis every Monday. The verb to play is a dynamic verb. and in this case it is used in the present simple tense. Let's have a look at the second sentence. She is playing tennis now. This is the present continuous tense, and the verb to play is used to describe an action. However, there are some stative verbs. What are stative verbs? What do they express? What do they describe? Stative verbs describe states, not actions, and they're not usually used in the continuous form. So, stative verbs, they describe, express thoughts with such verbs as to know, to remember, to believe, to think, to feel, to suppose. They describe feelings with such verbs as to prefer, to like, to love, to hate, to want. They describe senses: smell, hear, feel, touch, taste, see. They describe possession: own, belong, have, etc. And there is also the verb to be. However, there are some verbs that refer to states or actions, and it depends on the situation which form you need to use, simple or continuous. Let's have a look at some examples. He's thinking about a new project. In this sentence, the verb to think expresses an action. When someone uses his brain, his or her brain, to make a decision to find a solution. So in this case, the verb to think expresses an action. As for the second sentence, I think it's fantastic, the verb to think expresses an opinion, a mental state. In this case, the present simple should be used. Another example, he's having a cup of coffee. This tense is in the present continuous tense, and in this sentence, he's having a cup of coffee means an action because someone is having a break. And I have a new car. In this case, the word to have expresses a possession. I don't see any problem with that. Let's have a look at this verb to see. It expresses someone's opinion, so it is a stative verb. The present simple should be used. And the second example with the verb to see, I'm seeing him tomorrow afternoon, describes an action, which means I'm meeting him tomorrow afternoon. Do you have any questions? If yes, please comment below. Happy learning! Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye!